letting go control. Miracles without crisis. That should be our goal. And that's what I think we should have as our goal this holiday season. Miracles without crisis. No scrunching, no drama, just miracles, 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 miracles. So we call forth the activity of God in every single moment. When you're shopping, the most perfect gift, the most perfect adventure, the most perfect parking space. I know you asked for that one. I know you do. Miracles without crisis. Staying in touch with that light. Well, I wanted to share with you a little story this morning. Miracles without crisis is an expectation that God is going to flow always. And I was reminded of Jesus' first birthday celebration that we get in the Aquarian Gospel. He's 7 years old. And I want to share it with you. Does anybody remember the story?
Yes.
It's a good story, isn't it?
Your Aquarian Gospel students remember.
Yeah. Seminary students?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. This is in chapter 16. In chapter 16, verse 2 and 3, it talks about Jesus' how much he loved studying. He greatly loved the Vedic hymns and the Avesta, but more than that, he loved to read Psalms and Solomon. The Jewish books of prophecy were his delight, and when he reached his 7th year, he needed not the books to read, for he had fixed in memory every word. Now, was he full of a relationship with God? And you know, God doesn't ask you to memorize text. It's just have the relationship that meets your desires and your needs. Some of us need to meditate a lot longer than others. You know, some of you write poetry, and that's part of your relationship with God. But he was filled up. That's what I want you to understand. He was filled up with his relationship with God. And then his grandfather said to him, "My son, today you pass the 7th milestone of your way of life. You're 7 years old. And we will give to you as remembrance of this day whatever you desire. Choose that which will afford you the most delight." Don't we get that from God all the time? You're just doing so good. What would you like? What would you like? And then Jesus said, "I do not want a gift, for I am satisfied. If I could make a multitude of children glad upon this day, I would be greatly pleased. There are many hungry boys and girls in Nazareth who would be pleased to eat with us this feast and share with us the pleasures of this day. The richest gift you can give me is your permission to go out and find these needy ones and bring them here that they may feast with us." And his grandfather said, "All right, go and find the needy boys and girls and we'll prepare enough for all." And then it said, Jesus did not wait. He ran. He entered every dingy hut and cabin in the town. He did not waste his words. He told everyone his mission. And in a little time, 160 boys and girls were following him up Marmion Way. That's like 130 kids. Can you imagine what you would have done if your child brought home 130 kids? But God was in charge. God was in charge. As human beings, the child says, "Yes, I want to go feed all the needy kids." We would say, "Okay, all right, you may bring 5. Do we not? A child brings great, grandiose ideas. "I want to contribute to the world." All right, you may contribute this portion to the world. But here we have the demonstration of a child with an unlimited heart. And he brought 130 kids. He had no idea how many kids he was going to bring. 130 kids. And his grandfather had enough food for everybody. Why? Because they were probably blessing and multiplying it as they went. There was plenty, because God was in charge. And it says, the guests filled the banquet hall, and Jesus and his mother served. There was enough food for all, and all were glad. And so the birthday gift of Jesus was a crown of righteousness. Jesus and his mother served. All right. To me, this story is about showing up with the best that you have and letting the details fall where they may. You know, we want to be Christ. We want to evolve our Christ awareness, but showing up with the best that you have. In this story, he did not go to change the children's lives. Do you see? He brought them into his world. Come visit my world for a day. I'm not here to judge your world or change your world. I'm having a party. Would you like a party? Come and have the party with me. Do you see? When we did the Souls for Souls, the shoe drive, you know, I had no idea how many shoes we were going to get. We got an email. Someone said, would your church please participate? I said, well, if somebody else will head it up, sure. Got Diamira to head it up. She made all the phone calls and arrangements, and we put it out to the congregation. If you all have extra shoes, bring your shoes. I had no idea how many shoes, and if we'd gotten 20 pairs, it would have been just fine with me. Because 20 pairs of shoes needed to go out there. And we had over, about 350 shoes, pairs of shoes. A tremendous amount of shoes come. But we did not go and find bare feet for those shoes. I want you to hear what we did. We blessed someone with our world. Our world has plenty of shoes. Take some shoes. We did not go and bring people. We did not go into their world to change them. That's the power of us Christing. Standing forth with what we are and inviting the world into our world. The two qualities that Jesus Christ demonstrated with this little story that are qualities that our seminary students have to study and embody is acting with a generous spirit and being inclusive. Including everyone in your world and being generous. When we walk with a generous spirit and an inclusive nature in our world, we can bring God fully present. Because God is inclusive and generous. At Christmas and every time, we always feel like we have to leave our world. We have to leave who we are. Then we limit who we are. Then we're unhappy. Then we're back to square one again. Instead of being who we are and taking the limits off of that.